Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Studio 44. I am Phil Sherman. Thank you so much for joining me while I recuperate here with my repaired meniscus tear. I got it done Friday. Today is what, Tuesday? Day after the eclipse, by the way. I wish I could have got some good footage for you guys, for those of you who weren't in the line of the eclipse. Rochester, New York was. I do have some footage. I can put it up if you guys want it. But thank you to everybody who has asked about my knee. I feel pretty good. I've been told it went pretty well. I was hoping to get a little video of myself a little tipsy when I came out of anesthesia. But I guess my blood pressure spiked pretty bad, and my wife was a little worried about it, so she wasn't thinking, hey, I should record this at the moment. But I remember being pretty goofy. My wife tells me I made fun of my nurse's lemon earrings, and I remember asking if I could play poker that night because it was the first Friday of every month is poker night, and I happened to schedule my surgery on poker night, so I was a little bummed. Turns out I was able to make poker night thanks to my wife, who took good care of me and is taking good care of me. So again, thank you for everyone who has reached out and asked how I'm doing. I'm doing well. The crutches suck. It's a little harder getting around than I thought it would be, and doing a lot of things that you take for granted. But enough about that. We need to talk baseball stadiums because OMG, I have so many. I had no idea I was backed up this much. I've got like 13 to 15 to show you. So I'm going to break it up into two videos. We also have the contest going on. It looks like there's a few that are pretty much settled, and then there's some that are neck and neck. So I want to let the voting go on for a few more days, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's say we wrap it up Friday the 12th. Hopefully I have this video posted soon. Obviously, editing takes some time, but I hope to get this up soon and give you guys a couple more days to finish up your voting because, man, some of them, I think there was one last I checked today that was literally 50-50. So, yeah, I want to give you guys time to vote and get our finalists ready to show one quick video and then vote on the finalist, and then we can just concentrate on the 24 version of the game, which is actually what we're going to do in this video. Most of the stadiums I have are from the 24 version of the game. I'm showcasing them from the 24 version, even if they were from the 23. I have a couple people who are refusing to buy 24, and I don't blame them. They wanted more out of the new game if they're going to pay $70 for it. So they stepped up and said, no, I'm not buying it. So they're going to keep playing and keep building stadiums with the old version of the game. And you know what? Hats off to them. I wish I had that willpower to kind of, send a message to SDS that, hey, we want more out of this tool. It's fun. We love it, but you can't just leave it alone. You got to keep building on it. So, all right. As always, I have rambled enough. Let's get on to the first stadium we're going to take a look at. We're going to start things off with a stadium from a creator we haven't seen in a while, Wally74W. It's great to have you back, buddy. He gives us Barron Stadium. It's in San Francisco, California. Altitude of 2,785 feet. Built in 2024. And I already like it. This is the first thing that comes to my attention, this right field. I always like the idea of using the base of this building for stands. That big, huge wall is nice to, put signs and scoreboards on, which he has done. He labeled it Barron Stadium there as well, put some laser ribbon below, and the arches or pillars, whatever you want to call those, blending into stands automatically looks great. And I love the different angles. He's got the straight across up here, but the plaza level, or I don't even know what you would call this, field level seating, kind of runs into it, but in a different angle, and I think it looks really cool. And then he uses this stone wall to kind of separate these two sections. I really like this. You got the longer scoreboard over here and right. Cool little corner with the team store and a Creole dugout. The building with some stands on it. And then more than, and then look at how many decks, like 4 decks it looks like. Man. Super fun. Pretty standard around this way. And I like how it curves around the corner. Good job with that. Corners are always tough. Ooh, and then underneath you got some bleachers. A little scoreboard. More bleachers under here. Fancy seating behind home plate. Oh, I see a shadow. We got some Jets doing a flyby. Where are the Jets? Why can't I find the Jets? Oh, there they are. Then you got a parking garage right behind the batter's eye with the SDS and the rundown signs on it. Another scoreboard over here with the seating section. Escalator leading right up to all this. A lot going on in here. Very compact. Got a playground and benches and picnic tables. Concession stands. Very nice. Another label for Barron Stadium. Wally 74W. Right here. See, come on. Can't. Doesn't SDS see this and think, oh man, we dropped the ball. We really need to have numbers there. Right? I mean, come on. Tell me they don't look at people's created stadiums every once in a while. They have to see stuff like that and be like, every font needs, or every lettering prop needs numbers. Every single one. Oh, boy. But, yeah, this is Barron Stadium from Wally 74W. So good to have him back. Lighting looks really good. I don't know. This could also play as maybe like a roof that closes. But it'd be nice to have a base like this without this big tower. But, I mean, the tower doesn't look awful. It's definitely worth having so you can use this big wall. I like using that base. All right. Not a whole lot going outside the stadium. He faced it off. All right. Looks great. Wally 74W. Great to have you back, buddy. Can't wait to see more from you in the 24 version of Stadium Creator. Next up, we have a potential Stadium of the Year of 23 finalist, Carmen's dad. He gives us Chicago's Lakeshore Park. It's in Chicago, Illinois, altitude of 583 feet. Built in 2024. I think he said maybe this could be the new White Sox project, or he has his own franchise that he uses, or his own league that he uses franchises in. And he said this could be for a Chicago team, and already it's fantastic. Using the anomalies in center field to surround the Texas batter's eye. Very, very nice. Then you got some Wrigley Field-esque buildings out here in right center. People hanging out along the fence. Beautiful. Great little custom scoreboard out here for Lakeshore Park. And then he's got the anomalies making luxury seats again, going all the way around the stadium. Looking marvelous. And again, I always like that second deck kind of curling around. And the top deck only goes pretty much down the line. I mean, I've said it before a million times. That's where stadiums are heading. Not a whole lot of seating. Or not as much seating, I should say. Instead, they want these standing room areas and picnic areas where you can just buy stuff and, you know, buy food and concessions. And then, is this supposed to be the Sears Tower? It's not called the Sears Tower anymore. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But yeah, they want you to spend money and just hang out, not necessarily be glued to your seat. And that's fine, but, I mean, you got to give us ways to see the game while you're in line. It doesn't matter what stadium you're at. It doesn't matter what concession stand you're at. Sometimes I would pick my food based on how short the lines are, which kind of sucks, but, I mean, especially now with the stupid pitch clock, everything goes so fast. The freaking Yankees-Marlins game last night, it was like 2 hours. What do you guys think? Are you guys pro pitch clock? I'm okay with longer games, but again, I don't think the length of the game is the problem. It's the pace of the game. If you got a 4-hour game, but every action is packed in pretty tightly, then I don't mind being there for 4 hours. I like having it on as background noise, the game, background noise while I'm on my phone or I'm playing a game or building stadiums or whatever. But 2 hours is too short. But yeah, tons of stuff going on in the stadium. Sorry, Carmen's dad, that I'm picking your stadium to do a rant. This great city going off into Lake Michigan here. I'm assuming that's what it is anyway, right? I live just up the road from a Great Lake myself, Lake Ontario. It's like 5 houses down from me. He uses this building all the time to face off, and it's an excellent idea. It looks fantastic. You can make it look nice and clean, and it has a stadium look to it, a modern stadium look to it, too. It's nicer. A lot of people use the brick ones, and that's good, but, you know, the brick ones kind of give you an old school feel. I guess it's that one building in particular that is available that people use, kind of looks old school. But flipping on the lights, this is what we have. Looks amazing, as always. Carbon's dad does great work. There's more in the chamber for us to look at from him, and I can't wait to show it to you. I haven't seen it myself yet, to be honest, but again, I'm pretty sure it's fabulous. This fountain's a cool idea. 2 fountains turned into each other. And then using that hotel again for, like, windows in the back underneath. This looks really cool. This is a great idea. Great way to kind of bury some luxury seating or restaurants or concessions, bathrooms, whatever would be back there. Clubs. All right, fantastic. Billy Goat. Is that... The Billy Goat, that's something to do with the Cubs, right? Isn't there like a curse involving the goat or something? I don't remember the goat story. Looks phenomenal. Carmen's dad, thank you again for offering this stadium up to us. So glad to have you involved with Studio 44, and good luck for the second round of the contest. Next up, we're going to take a look at a stadium from a new creator to Studio 44. Dalton Kincaid gives us Moose Crypto Stadium. It's in Nova Scotia, altitude of 3,100 feet, and it was built in 2022. Nova Scotia, that's in Canada, right? You got a bunch of different layers of seating over here with the fountain underneath. That looks pretty cool. You got a restaurant with people hanging out on top and inside. That's pretty cool. I hope there's like a scoreboard or something underneath here. I like this little Hall of Fame area with the... You don't see this prop used very much, the smokestacks from Cincinnati. Bleachers on top of the ice cream shop here. Oh, I love me some ice cream. See, that's the thing. Most stadiums, they have like one place to get ice cream. So you're in line for like 3.5 hours. Pittsburgh, they do these Sundays. Oh, they're so good. Got a lighthouse hanging out here in the corner with some palm trees. You got a luxury box hanging out. Double-decker stadium behind home plate and around the base paths. All right, it's pretty unique. A lot of different stuff going on. Some trees out here in left field. Sausage stand. Looks like a template, right, for the home run fence. Use the half pattern. Desert's going to be lit up, it looks like. The big radio tower out there in right center field. All right, Dalton. I dig it, buddy. I especially like the different stacked seating. It looks pretty cool. Hit it here, sign, of course, over the fountain. I turned the lights on, right? All right, looks pretty clean on the outside of the stadium. Got a parking garage over here. Got some water going on behind the Red Rocks. All right, Dalton Kincaid, welcome to Studio 44, buddy. So glad to have your first submission. Can't wait to see what you bring to us next. Okay, I'm pretty sure I recognize this stadium from Sewell 21's last Stadiums That Inspire video. Cyclone Field, new in Honolulu, Hawaii. Altitude of 1,454 feet, built in 1934. This is from Fiserv, and I have to apologize to him because he's been on me for a while to showcase this field, and I'm ashamed that it took me so long because I remember really liking it when I saw it in Sewell's video. I love right field with the anomaly covering this bleacher section above the high wall. I love the roof. I know Chris Morales and DJ Jackson and all those guys are going to be pummeling balls off that in the RDL versus Legends League. I need to call that something. Help me come up with a name for that, would you, fellas? Just RDL Legends League, maybe? I don't know. Very, very clean on the outside of the stadium. Faced off excellently. Is excellently a word? Can you say excellently? Well, I did, and it looks good. Using a bunch of different buildings to face it off. Very clean, very nice. And I remember love and left field with this little boardwalk or sidewalk out into the shore. Looks really, really, really nice. Yeah, that's freaking fantastic. And you got Cyclones written on the back of the scoreboard for those who are enjoying the game on a boat. Waiting for some home run balls. This is, man, my last two videos where I've done stadiums outside of the contest, I've had some great waterfront stadiums, and this goes right along in with those guys. Outstanding. I love the quirky dimensions. Ugh, it's amazing. I'm sure you can put balls in that water, right? How deep are we talking here? 340 down the line? It's still a pretty good poke. Helping raise that altitude is going to help a little bit, though. Again, I feel like I repeat myself so many times, but I just feel like the altitude means too much to the way a ball carries in this game. Man. Excellent, excellent stadium. Turning the lights on, and it looks just as amazing. Got the old school dirt pattern. But, I mean, if I remember correctly, it said it was built, 34? Yeah, so that kind of fits in. Fenway Park had something similar to that for a long time. Remember watching the Yankees play the Red Sox and using that. The stands look pretty clean. You got a bunch of boats hanging out. The shoreline looks amazing, the way it kind of curls around. Fantastic reserve. I hope I'm saying your name right or your gamer tag right. And once again, I apologize for the length of time it took for me to get to this stadium, but it happens. So let that be a reminder to everybody. Please, 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 if I've missed a stadium of yours, don't be afraid to post it again. And I'll get back to you and let you know if it's on the docket or not. This one I definitely had for a while. I don't know why it slipped through the cracks, but I'm glad I got to it because it's gorgeous. Is this stadium early entry, 24, stadium of the year? It really could be. It's that good. I love it. This boardwalk out to the water just looks so clean and nice. And then blending the anomaly into the aisle seating section thing and the fence posts. Looks so good. All right, Fizerv. I dig it, buddy. I dig it a lot. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for submitting the stadium. And we'll move on for now. Okay, this next stadium comes to us from a staple in Studio 44. Archmage Chamos. You gotta let me know how that is, Arch. I never know if I'm getting it right. Brush Stadium Polo Grounds, 1911 through 1921, PF. Apparently, this is the stadium that the New York Giants used before the new Polo Grounds, or the more recent version of the Polo Grounds. I guess there was a fire and it burned down and they had to rebuild it. At least that's what Arch told me. And obviously I trust his knowledge of old stadiums, as he is a master at recreating them. Oh, look at this. Look at this dude. Come on. This dude always finds ways to get things looking how they're supposed to look using whatever props he has to. Excellent. And if this is in the same location as the more recent Polo Grounds, this is a bridge right across to the Bronx, where Yankee Stadium would be right over here. Is it the Hudson that they're crossing, or the East? But it does give me an old school Yankee Stadium vibe when it first built. I mean, obviously this is very Polo Grounds, this, jolting back like that. I just assumed it was shaped like this because it was a football stadium too, right? A football team had to play in here for it to be shaped like that. Otherwise, it would be no sense. But he's using signs and shipping containers and all kinds of stuff to get the right businesses up there. ATG Baseball, using the flags. And then look at the time he spends on the city, giving it a very good old school look. It's crazy. There are pictures out there of Yankee Stadium being built, the original Yankee Stadium, and it's so cool. I've always been fascinated with history like that. All these train tracks and shipping containers on the train tracks. Look how far he goes out here to give the right detail. Excellent. Arch is our guy, man. Last I checked, I think he was barely trailing to Murph 075, right? Shopping Mall Stadium. So that's why I want to keep that going. I'm hoping to get this stadium posted no later than Wednesday, and then we'll wrap up voting by Friday, and then I should be able to create the new video this weekend. So, Arch, thanks again, buddy. This looks great. I never knew that there was a older version of the Polo Grounds Stadium, so this is cool to have. This is cool to see. And like I said, this is how it looked because Arch makes them look how they used to look. Using these windows up here. The perfect grass pattern and dirt pattern, of course. I would assume they didn't have lights back then, but we got to make it modern, right? We got to make it playable. Excellent work, Arch. Thank you as always. You always make my videos better when I have one of your stadiums to show. Let's move on. Okay, I hope you guys don't mind, but I wanted to finish off this video with a couple of stadiums of my own. This first one is Hollywood Hills Stadium. Sorry, Murph, I decided to use this one for the Hollywood Stars in the next season of the Ricky Davis League. Built in Hollywood, California, 2024, altitude of 2,500 feet. That's pretty much where I make all of my stadiums just because of the stupid altitude. I made some changes to it. Noticeably, in center field, I added these two buildings together as kind of the center field backdrop, changing it from that other building that I had. I don't know if you guys remember it that well or not, but over here, I'm still having problems. I had to rebuild these stars and copy them around because the props still delete on me. You'd think that's something that would fix in the new version of the game, but I don't know if it's because it was from the old version and it was carried over into this one. Are you guys still having problems with that? I've built 2 brand new stadiums in this game so far that were from scratch. No, not carried over from the other version of the game. One for Sewell's contest, the minor league contest, and I didn't notice it being an issue there. And another one that I'm going to show after this that is probably the best stadium I've ever made. But yeah, I didn't notice it there. So if that's an issue or if you guys know how to fix that issue, please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, again, the changes I made, this used to be just one big wall of lazy river facing, but I decided to throw stands under here and under here. I put some standing room only fans in here and put this concession stand back there. Hey, there's people in there chilling out working. Oh no, they're they're from this. This is what they are. But yeah, I got people at picnic benches and I got people lined up along the grass. I like my hills, and using this building as a template for the hills, I think really helped. This slant kind of makes it easier for you to kind of just trace it and, determine what the slope of the field ends up being, which is why I went with this building, even though it's not my favorite building in the game. But yeah, I liked facing it off with the marble and blending it into the plaza seating here, or the luxury seating, whatever you want to call it, to kind of, have it look, the same as the rest of the stadium. So I like how this one turned out. But again, stupid props deleting, like these guys keep deleting underneath. I didn't want a full, thick block there, so I had to create it with a bunch of little ones, and that's how it turned out. I think using these benches as a fence helps with memory. I'm not sure. I'm pretty much to the limit here, as you can see. But, yeah, you got to give SDS props for the tools they give you to make a nice Hall of Fame. And, of course, with the Hollywood stars being in Hollywood, I thought it made sense to be a Walk of Fame, you know, because they have their stars on Hollywood Boulevard. But, yeah, I really like it. I wanted to have this, the different levels branch off center field here. Each one is kind of connected to this Minnesota Twins prop. And I think it makes perfect sense with the stairs. I think that gives it a nice touch. And, of course, they're over here, too. But, yeah, I like how he turned out. So, Murph, I'm sorry, buddy. We're going to go with this one. I think you have enough stadiums in the RDL stadium, or in the RDL season this year, right? Some fantastic stadiums, I might add. And in the next video, I'm going to show one of my favorite stadiums he's ever done, too. It's so good. But, yeah, this is Hollywood Hills Stadium in Hollywood, California. Oh, man, we can't do this. What is this? These guys are just floating here. Come on, Philly. Can they have floating freaking light stands? What is this, Costco Park? All right. Thanks for bearing with me showing this stadium again. I know I just showed it recently, but I put some finishing touches on it, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. So let's move on to maybe the greatest stadium I've ever created. Ladies and gentlemen, or should I just say gentlemen, I am proud to give you SDS Studios Field 24. It's in San Diego, California, altitude of 33 feet, built in 2024. And what it is, gentlemen, is a stadium that consists of nothing but canoes. I knew as soon as I saw that these canoes were a new prop that I had to have them in my next stadium. I mean, what is a baseball stadium anyway without a bunch of canoes? This is, of course, on the right field side, or the home side is the regular standard canoe. Curls all the way around. I got some standing room people hanging out inside the canoes. And then on the left field side and the third base side, we have the flashy canoe. People hanging out in there. Not as many people, obviously, because, you know, they're the visitor team. But, yeah, I liked being able to line them all up, and, you know, being able to put the water prop right next to the fence was perfect, because these guys can just row their canoes in and check out the ball game. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. I just love it. Check it out at night. I didn't put lights up, so it's using light that they have put in, the 4 little asterisk-looking things. Or are they the things that Superman escaped in the original Superman movie? Marlon Brando sent Christopher Reeve off in that thing. The father becomes the son, and the son becomes the father. I named it after San Diego Studios because I was so happy that they gave us this prop. So thankful. So, I mean, who needs any other props when we have a canoe? And not only just a regular canoe, a flashy canoe. So thank you, SDS Studios. Appreciate it. If you have a stadium you would like to show off here in Studio 44, I think you know what to do by now. Simply leave the name of the stadium and your gamer tag. Please, OMG, please leave your gamer tag with it. There's so many stadiums that share the same name, and so many pages and pages and pages and pages of some of those stadiums, so please leave your gamer tag along with it. It's very helpful for me in speeding up the process of putting these videos out and not having to dig through the vault. The contest is still wrapping up. We have the semifinals, some very tight races, like I said. Get on the community portion of my page or of my channel and make sure you vote if you haven't already. Like I said, we're going to let it go until Friday, the 12th. After that, I'm going to record the final video showing the last 5 stadiums that made it to the finals, and then you're going to pick, of those 5 stadiums, your favorite. I don't think we need to break it up any more than that, right? We'll get this contest wrapped up. Do you have a stadium that you would like tinkered with? We still have the Tinker Challenge going on. Al Pickles gave us St. Clair Park and West Side Park. And I tinkered with St. Clair Park that I'm going to show you in the next video. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I hope Al Pickles enjoys it as well. St. Clair Park and West Side Park. And I tinkered with St. Clair Park that I'm going to show you in the next video. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I hope Al Pickles enjoys it as well because he gave me a great foundation to start with. And I think the stadium turned out pretty cool. So we'll see what he thinks. We'll see what you guys think. And maybe that gives you guys ideas to tinker with it yourself. So take a look at St. Clair Park or West Side Stadium in the Vault by Al Pickles and see if you want to tinker with those yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for reaching out and checking in on my well-being. I really appreciate you guys checking in, seeing how the knee's doing. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm so close to my goal. Please like the video if you did, in fact, like it. And ring the bell so you have notifications on when new stuff is coming. Thank you once again for watching and listening to me ramble on. And we'll see you very, very soon as I'm recording another video right away.